Hey there Shenz63 Gamers, and here's hoping that you've had an awesome day thus far. If not, don't worry, because this video will provide you with some very valuable inspiration to continue on your journey. So let's not wait around and instead get right into it. Jumping right into the topic for today's update video, we have something rather personal. Just be forewarned that this one may become quite long, so grab a drink and get comfy. So, as you may or may not know, 2020 has held many new ventures for me. However, one very pertinent and ever-present aspect of my life this year has been and will be for the next few years that of my chosen course at university. For those of you who are aware of my passion for space and my dream to become an astronaut, it will make sense to you that I am studying for a degree in aeronautical engineering. Now, while it may be a difficult course as many people believe, I must say that there are a few things which have made it possible for me to end off the first semester on a high, which I will get into as the video progresses. But first, let's have a look at the contrast between high school and uni, as it's more colloquially known, and how I've dealt with them. Point number 1, the additional freedom. When you're in university, and especially living away from home, which I do not do by the way, you have the liberty to explore the campus at your own leisure, attend lectures free of a strict dress code, something which I feel kinda guilty about enjoying, to be honest, eat wherever and whenever you'd like, and basically do as you please. Now, while this may be enticing, I actually found it quite easy to stay away from changing up my routine too much and benefited a ton from it. Breaks have been sufficient for me to hang out with friends, enjoy some nourishment in the form of good food, and also take in some fresh air. From my experience, this freedom is something to take note of and enjoy to a certain extent, but keeping things similar to school have helped me to maintain focus in lectures and also have tons of fun at the same time. Now moving on to point number 2, thousands of new faces and personalities. While in that strange transition stage between Matric VAC and university registration, I found myself thinking about the possibility of fellow students being either indifferent or simply unfriendly. It was something that I really hoped I would not have to deal with, being a passive person myself. Well, I must say that I was pleasantly surprised to find out that everyone else was truly super friendly. Throughout my first semester, everyone I've come across has been only approachable and awesome in every way, which allowed me to make new friends much more easily. In fact, just the other day, I was told by a certain someone, who may be watching this right now, that it only makes sense for everyone to be this way simply because they want to be at university and are not being forced to, something which I truly agree with. Now, that's definitely something for all of the matrics out there to look forward to. At this juncture, I must give a major shout out to the low-key lit squad for so many good times, even during lockdown. I really appreciate all of you and I wish you only the best for this time when we find ourselves apart. And now for point number 3, the massive workload and difference in teaching. Okay, so while most of us have been told this by our high school educators, it is certainly a reality. Lectures are not the same as being in class, where you have the ability to receive individual attention and access after-school revision. The sheer mountain of content to be covered in university just makes this approach impossible, and as such, questions need to be raised the second they form in one's mind, and self-revising difficult sections for many hours and working on assignments is imperative. While this may be true, I must admit that I've noticed something incredible amongst university students, and that is the will to see each other succeed. Many of the mentors which we have been addressed by have praised this camaraderie, and it is so assuring to know that you will always have someone to ask for assistance when you need it. This brings us to point number 4. The importance of recreation. So, having covered the academic difficulties of university, we must remind ourselves to maintain a certain sense of balance in our lives. no matter the circumstances. Whether it be a visit to the gym, a backyard game of cricket, or a night of squash, I found it to be paramount for me to maintain focus and regulate stress levels. Alongside the OG squad, who I'm sure you know all about if you watched the first episode of the podcast, I've enjoyed many a game of squash on Friday nights, as well as built up a certain deal of skill in the sport, as well as improved stamina and fitness. Not being able to engage in this incredibly fun activity at the moment due to the COVID-19 pandemic has definitely made us realize just how important it was for us to unwind and enjoy each other's company after a long week in the classroom and lecture venue respectively. However, we have been utilizing video calling on an almost daily basis to reconnect and enjoy the same jokes and good times as usual with great success. Something I urge all of you out there to do with your friends if you haven't already, because it really is very effective. Now for a topic which we briefly covered in the inaugural episode of the OG Squadcast. We have point number 5, online learning. A much unexpected sequence in pretty much every student's academic year, the COVID-19 pandemic certainly caused quite a lot of disruptions. It saw us at university moving to remote learning to complete our second block or term of our respective courses, something which each student responded to differently. At first, I, alongside many others, were rather anxious about the lack of contact-based lectures as well as time management due to us being at home with tons of distractions. However, the foremost priority in my mind at the time was to retain a sense of normality despite the unfortunate disruptions. This would see me through the challenges ahead. Every day, I followed a routine very similar to my usual uni schedule and worked for pretty much the same 8 to 9 hours as I would on a regular campus day, while prioritizing tasks to keep due dates as far away as possible and stress at bay. However, in the evenings I would carve out some time to unwind, regardless of how much work was to be done. Now, having completed an entire 3-month stint of online learning and achieving to my standards, I have this advice to offer you. Remain focused, consistent, and always remember that hard work pays off. That being said, never forget to be easy on yourself and realize that this is a difficult time for everyone, even you. Take the time to reflect and care for yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Lastly, point number 6, sources of motivation and inspiration. These have been imperative to keep me courageous, strong, and determined to achieve my goals this year. Day in and day out, I've reminded myself as to why I'm studying aeronautical engineering, and that is to contribute to our future in more ways than one. To create revolutionary spacecraft, explore the cosmos, expand our horizons as humans, and to help others realize that nothing is impossible. All of my friends, mentors, family, educators, and loyal supporters, that includes you watching this right now, have taught me so much, and it is in my hands to put that into practice. That's what drives me to wake up every morning with the goal to do something amazing, and for that I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. There are tons of people out there who believe in you too, and I urge you to make them proud by devoting your energy to making your dreams a reality. Well, Shenz63 Gamers, that brings us to the end of this video. I really hope that it's been informative and inspiring to you, whether you are currently in Matric, university, still coming up to it, or even way past. If you've made it to this point in the video, please do make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting really close to that 250 sub mark, and we would love to have you with us for the journey beyond. Thanks so much for watching, and much love from me, Shenz63. Peace.